Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. So for today's video I did this super duper pretty pink shimmery glam eye with a matching lip, kind of an ombre lip, with these really beautiful lashes that I got on my Boxycharm. I am so obsessed with them. They're so pretty. So as you can see, I did do a little bit of like a golden bronze on the lid, and I did try to incorporate that with the highlight and everything, and I just felt like this look was super tied together. And if you would like to see how I got this, then please keep watching. So today I went ahead and started with my face. I'm going with my Smashbox Photo Finish Primer, and I love this primer because it like blurs and smooths your flaws, and it makes my makeup last forever. So then, as you can see, my face is a little bit red, and I do have a couple of little pimples. So I am going in with this LA Girl Pro Concealer in the green Corrector shade. I know there is a light green and a dark green. I didn't know there was a light green. I probably should have gotten the light green because I am obviously not a dark skin tone, but it's whatever. They both work. I love using this underneath my foundation because it does cancel out the redness really well. And what I like to do, just because I want this to be like a really full face tutorial, is that I'm putting on a little bit right now, and then I'm going to put on a little bit more, and then just blend my foundation right over top of it, instead of blending it out like I am right now, just like into my skin, if that makes any sense whatsoever. And I am just blending this in with my beauty blender that I'm going to use to do my foundation and everything. You can also use your fingers, you know, whatever you want. And now, as you can see, I'm adding a little bit more that I'm not going to blend out yet. I'm going to put my foundation over top, and then I'm going to blend it out. So for foundation, I'm going in with this Revlon Colorstay foundation and the Maybelline Fit Me foundation. Now these two foundations combine to make a super beautiful finish. However, this combo is still a little bit light for me, so I am just going over with this, and then I'm going over with a little bit of a darker foundation because, like I said, we do want a full coverage look for the skin today. And I really love this Revlon Colorstay foundation because it's 24-hour wear. What am I talking about? It's 24-hour wear. And it contains hyaluronic acid, so it hydrates your skin. And then the Maybelline Fit Me kind of like controls the shine in your face and blurs your pores. So I feel like the combination of these two foundations together is just so beautiful. I just wish I had my shade at the moment. These are still my super duper light shades, and I haven't gotten super light yet. So now I am just going to go ahead and go right over top with my Maybelline Superstay Full Coverage Foundation. And as you can see, this one is a couple shades darker than those other shades. And this one's actually getting a little bit dark for me right now. But on top of the other two lighter shades, it mixed in really well with my skin. And I ended up getting my perfect shade, and my skin was super flawless. I love this Maybelline foundation. Well, actually, I love all Maybelline foundations, but this one is my favorite just because it's so full coverage, but it does not make my skin look cakey. It does not get dry or anything like that, and it stays on all day long. It doesn't get patchy, nothing. I love it so much. I just really wish that Maybelline was cruelty-free because I love Maybelline and their products, and I'm really trying to go cruelty-free, but it is so hard when I have so many Maybelline products and they're so good, so I don't want to stop using them, but I may have to. You never know. So then for concealer, I'm going in with the LA Girl Pro Conceal, and this is in the shade Natural. And I am taking this and going underneath the eyes. I'm going on the chin, cupid's bow, nose, and forehead just to conceal my under eyes. And also I'm taking this onto the eyelids to prime for eyeshadow. And then I'm putting it around the other places on my face to make sure that the highlight is even and everything is tied in together very well. I love this concealer too because it's really long wearing and full coverage, but it does not get cakey, and it doesn't make my under eyes look super creasy. Now, I naturally have very creasy under eyes in the first place, so any concealer and powder combo that I usually get some creases, but using this and my Maybelline powder together, this is the best result I have gotten you know, that I know of currently. My under eyes always look really, really good with this combo. So yeah, I'm very impressed. And these little concealers are only like $5. So I mean, can you really beat it? Now I'm going in with these little Cover FX glitter drops. And I also got these in my Boxycharm. And they are like, oh my god, they're so pretty. And I could not believe that I got this full-size container, which is originally, what, like $42, $48? In my Boxycharm. Like, that just blew me away. And this is a cruelty-free and vegan company, so I'm really liking that. And I love the way that these drops look as a highlighter. They're just so pretty. So now I am just going in and I am going to go ahead and blend out my under eye creases to make sure that we do not set the creases down. And I am taking my Maybelline Loose Finishing Powder, and as you can see, I'm avoiding the area where we just put down that liquid highlight. I am only setting kind of like the inner part of my eye, and then I'm going down onto the cheek, like beside of my nose, but I am not going all the way up onto my cheekbone like I normally do, because I do not want to put powder on top of that liquid highlight we just applied, because that would just kind of defeat the purpose, you know? Then I'm also taking a little bit of this and I'm going right along the sides of the nose and around the corners of my nose, just to make sure those areas are set down into place and they are nice and bright. I always make sure I put a little bit of powder in those areas just because they tend to get a little bit darker on me, so I want to prevent that. And then I am taking this powder and I'm going on my smile lines as well, just because throughout the day I always get very, very creasy on my smile lines. So I found the easiest way to prevent that is just to take my powder and just pack it on right there and make sure everything is set down very, very nicely. Now for the eyes, I'm going with this Ace Beauty Grandios. I'm probably butchering that, but don't even talk about it. This Grandios eyeshadow palette, and I'm taking the shade Clove, which is this really, really peachy pink shade. It is very, very pigmented, and it blended out so well. It's such a good transition shade, especially for looks like this. I was so impressed with it. And the brush that I'm using is also from my Boxycharm, my November Boxycharm. This is kind of like a November Boxycharm review. I was gonna call it that, but it's December, so like I'm a little bit late, so I figured I couldn't call it that, but that's basically what this is. But this little brush I'm using is the Luxie mini tapered brush, and it's so good at blending colors out, and it's so small and it's tapered, so you can fit it very, very precisely where you want it to go, so you're not like blending your colors around everywhere. Your colors stay in a really specific spot, and it is just so good at blending, and especially for your transition shade. That is what I will be using this brush for, is my transition area. I can already see it. So now from that same palette, I'm going in with the shade Rose, which is this really beautiful bright pink fuchsia shimmery shade. And as you can see, I am putting this in the crease, and you're probably thinking I'm crazy because I just said it was a shimmer shade. But honestly, this color looks so pretty in the crease because it has that little bit of like a light shimmer to it, but it's not glittery or anything. It's just kind of, you know, just a little bit of shimmer. It's not like I'm putting a loose glitter into my crease or anything. It actually blended out beautifully, and it made my crease look very glowy and super pretty. And then the little brush that I'm using is the Luxie Mini Flat Angled Brush. It fits right into my crease, and I love it. Like, you can apply it with one way and then flip the brush like I'm doing right here and blend out, and it is just like a dream. I'm in love with this little brush. So now I'm going in with the shade Poppy, which is like a burgundy wine shade. It's kind of like, it kind of has wine undertones, but it's more burgundy. And I'm taking this and just putting it directly into the crease. I am using my Luxie 141 mini round brush, also from my Boxycharm palette. All these little brushes, these little Luxie brushes, are from my Boxycharm. I love this itty bitty little brush because it's really dense, so it packs on a lot of color, but it's so small that it fits right into your crease and it does not have your shadow going all over your eye. And also you can blend a little bit with this and it just looks so good. It doesn't pack any more color on, it just kind of blends it out. Then of course I had to go back in with that rose shade and blend that darker poppy color out a little bit. And as you can see, I have my brush flipped where I can just really hit that edge and really blend that part out. And then I'm going back in with Clove on that same brush that we used before. And I'm going to go ahead and start blending out the rose shade. And I'm just using this Clove shade to pretty much blend all of these colors out into my skin. And like I said before, this color is beautiful and I'm just so impressed with it. Now I'm going in with the shade Primrose, which is this really beautiful gold color. It's so pigmented and it had like no fallout whatsoever, which I was so surprised with. And I'm actually using a little Ecotools lip brush to apply this. Probably not the best idea, but I had already done it, so I just kind of went with it. It did take me a little bit just to get this up to the pigmentation that I wanted. I didn't wet this little brush or anything. If I would have wet it, it probably would have, you know, saved me some time. But I did not have any, like, water available. And my setting spray was, like, at the other end of the house. So I just took my time and applied this. And then for the outer corner, I'm taking the shade Myrtle, which is this beautiful kind of like copper with kind of like warm brown undertones. And once again, this shade was super pigmented. It had no fallout. I was very, very impressed with it. And I am literally just taking this and I'm kind of putting it on the outer corner, mostly to like the outer third of the eye, just to add a little bit of dimension and, you know, have a little bit of going from light to dark from the inner to outer corner. Now I'm just going right back in with that little itty bitty Luxie brush in the shade Poppy, and I am just making sure that all of our pigmentation did not go away or anything, you know, that we still had that crease very defined. Then I have to go in and blend again. I'm just going backwards in the same order that I did before, just a blending the usual. I always have to make sure that I blend a lot with looks like this, especially with pinks, because if you just have a lot of pink, you kind of could look like you have pink eye, so you have to be careful with these. So I always like to blend. Now I am bringing some of that poppy shade with that same little brush, and I'm bringing this in onto the outer part of the lid. As you can see, I'm kind of connecting my crease with the lid. I'm just putting the shade in the outer V just to incorporate that purple a little bit right on top of that copper shade. It made such a beautiful color. I don't even know what to call it, but it looked really good. So moving back onto the face before I finish the lower lash line, I'm going to go ahead and go in with this contour palette from NYX. And I'm taking the 3 light shades. It's like 2 warm shades and 1 cool tone shade. The last shade is way too dark for me, so I did not dip into that one. But I am just taking this and I'm using all of these shades to contour and bronze my cheekbones, my forehead, temples, and around the jawline. And I am using it on this Sonia Kashuk domed multi-purpose crease brush. And, oh, you guys, this brush is so good. Like, it just fits right underneath your cheekbones and it just chisels them out so well. And I can't find it anywhere. Like, I found it and linked it below for you guys. I found it on Amazon. But other than Amazon, I can't find it anywhere. And I'm like, super upset about it because this is such a good brush. It's a real hair brush. It's very dense. It's dome shaped. It's just like the perfect face brush. Now I'm going in with this Laura Geller Baked Blush and Highlight in the shade Tropic Hues. This is also from my Boxycharm. And I'm applying it with this Luxie blush brush, which I did get in a Boxycharm, but it was a couple months ago. So yeah. But I love this blush. It is so pretty. It's very pinky, but then it has really, really pretty gold, like, shimmers and stuff in it, and it just makes your skin very glowy. And I felt like it tied in the little bit of gold and copper that we have going on the eyelid. This blush just tied it together so well. Okay, so moving on to eyeliner. What did I just say? Moving on to highlighter. I am going in with the Maybelline Master Chrome Highlight. This is the Molten Gold one. And I'm just taking this on my little e.l.f. Flawless Concealer brush. And I'm putting that to my cheekbones, my chin, cupid's bow, nose, and forehead. You know the drill. All the usual places. And I love, love, love these highlights. If y'all have not tried them, they are so good. They're really, really metallic, and you can apply them with your finger or with a brush. That's how creamy they are. They're so good. And this little brush that I'm using is only $3, I believe. It honestly might be $1, but I think it's $3. And this is like the best highlighting brush that I have found so far. I mean, I'm sure there's better ones, but I'm sure they're really expensive. Like, this little brush is super cheap, and it applies highlight like a dream. It applies your highlight super pigmented, and where it's so small and precise, you don't have to worry about your highlight getting everywhere on your face. It's just so good. I recommend this brush to everyone, mostly because of the price, but also because of the quality. And you can't beat the price and the quality put together. So yeah. Now I am just taking my beauty blender with some more of that Maybelline loose finishing powder, and I'm just taking this and I'm baking right underneath the cheekbones just to clean up that area a little bit. Now, along with cleaning up your bronzer, this will also lift your cheekbones because you're creating that lightness right underneath the darkness. So it's really going to create a contrast, and it's going to make your cheekbones look a lot more chiseled. And like I said, it's also going to clean up your bronzer so you have a nice sharp line as well. So now I want to go ahead and go back in and finish my lower lash line. I'm going in with that poppy shade, that burgundy shade, and I am just running this on the outer edge of the lower lash line, and I am connecting it with the outer V on the top lid. If that makes any sense. You see how I'm kind of like blending it out to the edge? Yeah, I want those two colors to connect and really, really make the eyes look a lot more elongated and cat-like. And then once I get that color to the pigmentation that I want, I'm going back in with that rose shade. And I am literally just taking this and putting it on kind of like the inner part of the lash line, or the lower lash line, sorry. Just anywhere that we didn't put that other shade, I'm just kind of filling in the blank space with this shimmery pink color. And now I'm going right back in with that clove shade, the peachy pink shade, and I am just going to take this and blend both of those shades out and kind of blend them together a little bit. And this is where I'm going to go a little bit hard with the blending because I like everything to be really, really blown out and smoky in my eye looks. So I am just taking my time really blending at this. I'm really going in and blending at the top lash line too. The really harsh line on the outer corner, I want to soften that. So I am just blending, blending, blending. So now I'm taking the shade Jasmine, which is just a really pretty kind of like white gold shade. And I'm taking this on that same little lip brush, actually. I just wiped it off. And I'm taking this and I'm applying it to the inner corner. And I'm also bringing it in onto the lid like a teeny tiny little bit. I am not applying it directly to the lid, but I am taking the product and I'm pulling it up towards the other shades just to really brighten up my inner corner and give me a nice pop of highlight in the inner corner to balance out all the pinks and the darkness that we have going on. Then as you can see, I did go back over with my little blending brush and just kind of like blend that shade into the rest of them. So now I'm going in with this Jonteblu Glittering Star Eyeliner. I hope I pronounced that right. But I got this in my Boxycharm, and as you can see, this eyeliner has little glitters in it, and I was so excited to try this. So I just went ahead and I like lined my top lash line, and then hit the waterline with this eyeliner as well. And I was really, really impressed because the glitter didn't disappear, but it did not fall onto my face. It didn't fall on my face throughout the day or when I was applying it, and it still had like a little bit of glitter in it. So now I'm going in with the lashes, and these are the Lashaholic lashes in the style Instaglam. I got these in my Boxycharm as well, and I love these because they're very wispy, and they're silk lashes, they're super comfortable, and they looked so good with this eye look. And then I got a little wonky at the end of this, sorry you guys. So, I wiped off my powder, my baking powder. Then I went in with my little Essence lip liner in the shade Under My Skin, and I went ahead and lined my lips with that. And I don't know where the footage of it is, but whatever. And then, for lipstick, which I also lost the footage of, I went in with the, what are these? The Maybelline Superstay Matte Ink lipsticks. I used the shade 80 Ruler, which is like a dark kind of wine color, around the edges of my lips. And then I went in with the shade 60 Poet, which is just a really light pinky nude, and I went in with that on the middle part of my lips, and I kind of blended them together to make the ombre effect. And then that is all for this video, you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you like these products, even though, you know, it's December. This is still like my Boxycharm review, I guess you would say. But I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so you know when I post my videos. And I will see y'all in the next one. Thanks, everyone. Bye.